said about the other girl being my waifu earlier, now this is my waifu. The she. Thank you for clicking on the video. Hi, I'm Sketchy, and today we are going to be reacting to another Arknights video. Or well, technically it's the second part of what we watched like 2 days ago. So I'll link the video to that in the description, but this is part 2. I believe it's going into like the races and maybe characters. I haven't watched this, I just kind of skimmed along here and looked at the categories, but I believe it's going into that. And remember, this is posted by Terrastorian. I think I'm saying that right. And remember to go subscribe to them and like the video. Let's get onto this.
Back to Terrastorian, part 2. I guess this will be where we shall be looking at the known races and threats on Terra in the Arknights universe. If you haven't seen part 1, then do.
Oh yeah, last time I got Arknights and Arknights, oh my god, I can never remember what it's called, the second part of it. Arknights, It's the newer game. Yes, Arknights Enfield, that's it. So I got them both confused because I didn't know they took place on different planets. Because someone told me in the comments last time, because I've only played Arknights Enfield. But I'm thinking I might play the original game, probably. I'll see. But let's get back onto this. Sorry for yapping.
Check out our first video. Anyway, let's begin with the races, then threats. There are many beautiful, interesting, and marvelous races on Terra. However, it is important to make it clear that all races have differences. Some races are younger than others, some enjoy conflicts and wars, others want peace, or to make an impact on the world. But interestingly, a vast majority of races aren't even native to Terra. These races can be categorized as Ancients and Elders races, while other races with Tzak heritage are the native races. To make this easier, we shall break down the races in selections: Ancients, Elders, Tzak, and others. An interesting question that normally comes up within Arknights lore is, can an individual have a child with someone from a different race?
I'm surprised if that would be answered officially. Now that would be funny if it has. I don't know though.
If so, what race would that child be?
I mean, they probably would have to at least be from the same planet, right? If they were gonna have a child, they'd probably need to be from the same planet, because obviously if they're from different planets, their reproductive organs are just gonna be different. Maybe.
Two people from different races do have a child. They will either be one or the other race. A 50-50, let's say, of what their child would be.
Then what if that child when they grow up, what if they have a child themselves? Like, could it, with a partner who's also a different race, could it be any one of those 3 races? I don't know.
An example would be if a feline or a libri had a child, it would be either a feline or a libri. It can't be a mixture of the two. However, they will take traits of their parents, either hair color, eye color, for example.
I feel like logistics wise, it's probably from the lore writer's point of view, it's probably just the easiest way to go about it without getting all technical, you know?
Ancient races are the largest category for races. They are also one of the 2 categories of races that aren't native to Terra. Our first race we shall speak about is the Aegir, based on aquatic creatures. This race...
Oh, that's pretty... Okay, she kind of looks like a nurse on the left.
...comes from the nation of Aegir. Others can be found on the mainland, such as Iberia or Higashi. The Aegir, though, are somewhat strangers to the races of the land. Aegir also have been in a long conflict with the Seaborn, a background threat that threatens to simulate the rest of the world, though it seems that the Aegir are one of the reasons for the Seaborn to be pushed out.
They really gave that thing some thick thigh. I don't know why that's the first thing I thought of, but look at it, look! Sorry.
Wait, a tale for another time. One outstanding thing about the Aegir is that they are unbelievably arrogant and stuck up. Since the Aegir have more advanced technology compared to any of the races on the land, they tend to look down on them. And
I suppose if you're living by the sea or near the sea, you'll need it if you want to get around, you know.
see themselves as superior.
And I suppose, you know, less food sources too, so you're gonna want better technology so you can move around more, right?
Probably one of the most popular and populated race is the felines. This race is based on cat.
Hey, I mean, why, you know, there's a reason why it's popular, okay? Everybody loves furries. Everyone always wants to have their cat girl. Their cat girl.
And can be mainly found in Victoria. However, they can still be found all over Terra. There are overall 39 operators in Arknights that are playable who are felines.
Honestly, I'm not surprised it's 39, just because cat girls, cat guys, just are so popular again.
Aslans are thought to be a separate race to felines. However, this is not true. Aslans are felines that have self-appointed themselves to a more nobility race. However, they still do rule Sargon with power and eventually moving to Victoria and now fighting over the throne there against the Dracos. Vivori are based on wyverns or lesser dragons. This race can be found around in Sargon, where they potentially originated from and have ventured to Victoria. Vivori are known to have higher physical strength and endurance than most other races. Alephia, the race with deer-like traits. This race can mainly be...
I'm guessing this is probably gonna be like a peaceful race. I'm guessing since it's based on deers, you can probably guess, depending on which animal it's based on, they're probably, or I could imagine them also being kind of stuck up too. Maybe.
Found in Lefania, but also in the far north in Sami. You can find other Alephia in Victoria and Yan. There is also a potential subrace of Alephia that are based with traits from giraffes, with equine traits and features.
That feels like it'd be a completely separate race, like a giraffe themed one. That feels like it'd be separate.
Kuranta are based on horses and even zebras. Kurantas are known to be born with fast running and stamina. A vast majority of Kurantas are born in Casimir, the land of the knights, and Kurantas currently the only known race to have two elder race siblings, which we will get on to later. Lupo, the wolves of Terra. This race,
and I'm guessing there's probably a lot of also wolf-themed pullable characters. I can guess.
Race is mainly found within
probably a bit less than the cats, but I could imagine there being around 20 or something like that.
Syracuse, but also can be found in other places such as Sargon and Victoria. Horn's family came from Sargon and ended up in Victoria. Liabri, the second highest most operators in Arknights of 35 operators. Liabri are based on birds. Most Liabri can be found in Colombia, Iberia, and a few in Laterano. Volpo, having similar traits to Lupo, and sometimes confused with Lupo, this race is actually based on foxes. Volpo can be found in...
I don't know from that art if I see it. Okay, I kind of see it on that one.
This race is
art, I don't see the fox. Well, I think only on him. I don't see like the foxness. That doesn't make sense, but you know what I mean. I do see it in her. Can you? Let me check. Yeah, I do see in the girl behind me, but the other guy, nah, not really. I know that's random. Anyways,
actually based on foxes. Volpo can be found.
Oh my god, there must be so many races that I just realized the video is 25 minutes. There's gotta be so many. Although, I suppose it means it's good for like character design wise, because you could have a big range of different races, different characters. I don't know.
In Syracuse, Colombia, and Sami. Archosauria, having traits from crocodilians. They also have similar pointy ears to others like Sarkaz and Vivori. From what we do know, majority of the males are anthropomorphic, while females aren't. This could
there are a lot of things which do that. I don't know. I never really like the trope of the women, you could make the women, look so cool when it comes to, making them look more crocodilian, but then you just make them look like generic anime girls, It's just... I don't know. I don't really like that design choice-wise,
could be a case of sexual dimorphism. This race comes from Sargon. Anura, a race based on frogs, this race came from Sargon. Across some parts of Terra, including Iberia, where they are treated roughly and used as experiments. We only know of one Anura, and that is Blue Poison, who is based on the Blue Poison dart frog. A race we don't know much about is the Manticore, and despite being based on a mythical creature, this race can be found in small parts of Sargon, and are rare.
Okay, I really like that character. She's cute.
Away from other races.
Actually, no, I might be wrong about that.
Caprinae, one of the common races found in Lefania. The Caprinae have traits from goats and sheep. Cultus, the rabbit and the hare race, mainly found and born in Rambiliton. Cerato is based on rhinos, with the classic rhino-like horn on their forehead. We know of one Cerato, and that is Bubbles. If felines are the cat people of Terra, then the Pero are the dog people of Terra. This race can mainly be found in Bolivar. Petram are similar to Anura. There is currently one known character in the game, but Petram are based on tortoises and turtles. Not much is known about this race, other than there are small Petram settlements around Terra that house excellent or great craftsmen. However, we do know more about the next race, which is the Pythia, based on serpents and having snake-like tails and pointy ears.
That's so funny. I was just thinking, is there gonna be a snake-themed race? But there is. I was like, is there? But yeah. Okay, that is cool though. Ooh, I could imagine all the design elements you could do with that. Giving them a whole long, snake tail for legs. Oh, I think they probably wouldn't do that, but that would be a cool design choice.
Two other races. Pythia, like snakes of the real world, have acute and delicate senses. Pythia are rare or at least uncommon race. Despite this, they can be found all over Terra. The Forte race have traits from bovines and camelids. The Forte are the main inhabitants of Minos. Pilosa, another race that only has...
I was gonna say, what is that based on but a sloth? Yeah, I suppose a sloth. I think it's a sloth because this thing here.
As one known character, this race is based on sloths.
Yeah, that's actually kind of cool, but I feel like it'd be hard to make a character actually look like a sloth, Because, what character traits do sloths have that are, that unique? I guess, they have big, long claws, but what do they have? I guess the patches around their eyes, but...
And that's all we know about them. Anate are a race based on otters, weasels, and raccoons. Rubber are based...
But it's kind of cool because you generally don't see this much diversism, not diversism, but whether you don't see them a lot having lots and tons of different races, I mean, they might have 5 or 6 in the game, or they might be, generic humans, I would say in most gacha games, so it's kind of cool. It's kind of cool that they have so many.
On hyenas, nothing much is known other than they come from Sargon.
No, I just love how the males are so hyper, cool looking. They're yes, super hyena-y. And then you have the girl who's yes, I am anime girl. No, there's nothing wrong with that choice. I just think I just like the male's design where it's more animalistic.
Savara are a race based on lizards and some amphibians like salamanders. The land of Ursus, like we mentioned, was named after this bear-like race, called the Ursus.
But no, I wonder, like, within a certain race category, because you can see there's one guy who's super polar bear-y, and then you have another guy, I think, behind my head. I think they're both dudes. So it's kind of interesting, like, why is one a polar bear and why is the other one, like, more human? I mean, would that be a case? I know he said earlier, you know, they would only get traits like hair colors and stuff, but, like, hair colors if their parents were two different races. But is that, like, a case of that happening? Well, probably not. But, or I guess it would be, like, sub-races of the same race. I don't know why that feels weird to say.
The Zalak are based on rodents including rats, mice.
Or could you imagine? Could you imagine, like, let's say, I don't know, let's say you're a carrot, you know, let's say you're one of the from the like polar bear type race, or Ursus from the Ursus race, and like it's a gamble if your child will come out looking like a full polar bear. Or looking like a anime polar bear, you know. That, could you imagine being like a parent of that? That'd be interesting.
The Zalak are based on rodents including rats, mice and squirrels. Zalaks can also be found all over Terra and known to have acute senses. Hailing from beyond Terra, the Elder Races, once mighty rulers who overshadowed their ancient brethren in power, held dominion over the nations. However, their numbers have dwindled, leaving only a handful of nations under their rule. Their forms bear resemblance to mythical creatures of our own world. Draco, with traits based on European dragons in mythology, they are
Oh, that's interesting, because he said there was another dragon race earlier. So I'm wondering, is it like sub-races of the same race? I'm not going crazy. I swear he said there was a dragon race earlier. Okay, maybe I am going crazy. Let me have a look. See. I think he did, didn't he? I think he said there was a dragon race here earlier. Maybe I am just kind of crazy. Yes, wait, there is another dragon race.
And eventually moving around to than most other races.
Yes, okay.
Physical strength and endurance.
I'm not going crazy. I guess maybe it's based on, like, more Chinese dragons, I would guess. Anyway, sorry.
From bovines and camelids. The forte are a like race called the Ursus. Zalaks can also be found all over Terra. The Elder Races, once mighty rulers who overshadowed their ancient brethren in power, held dominion over the nations. However, their numbers have dwindled, leaving only a handful of nations under their rule. Their forms bear resemblance to mythical creatures of our own world. Draco, with traits based on European dragons in mythology, they are famous for their racial gift over fire manipulation. But they also have increased vitality and strength. Dracos became rulers of Victoria and Tara, a piece of land that became a part of Victoria.
Yeah, he said the Elder Races, yeah, they weren't the native ones, I don't think, right? Hold on, I've got to remember. Yeah, they're non-native. Yeah, I was just thinking. Then the non-native ones. Anyway, sorry.
Rulers under their rule. Their forms bear with traits based on European dragons, but they also have increased vitality and strength. Dracos became rulers of Victoria and Tara, a piece of land that became a part of Victoria. Eventually, getting in conflict with the self-appointed Aslans over the throne. Over the years, the Dracos have become rarer and potentially extinct. We only know of 3 Dracos in Arknights: Reed, her sister Eblana, and Tallulah. Hippogriff Libri. This elder race of Libri is based on hippogriffs.
Yeah, it's probably gonna go extinct, considering all the last 3, well, the last 3 known ones are either siblings or all women, so, you know.
In mythology, and once ruled over the nation that is now called Ursus. However, like we mentioned previously, this race failed to protect their land, and the Ursus rebelled. While they already are dethroned, they have kept their nobility status and known to have longer lifespans. Kitsune. This elder race, based on the nine-tailed fox, are found in Higashi. They are said to be religious leaders and have some sort of connection to the founding of the nation. Kukulkan, based on the Mayan plumed serpent, and an elder race, however, are...
Ooh, that's interesting. Did he? Yeah, the Mayan blue serpent. That's kind of cool. That they went to like different cultures and like looked up the animals. That like you know, the mythological creatures and put them into this. That's actually so cool.
After the loss of their abilities, now they practice an odd ritual, which reduced their lifespan greatly, but gain the collective memory of their ancestors. One thing about this race is that we don't know if they are categorized as...
How much does it reduce it, you know? Like, let's say it's just taking 5 years off. That wouldn't be too bad, but if it's like taking half your lifespan, that wouldn't be too good, depending on how long their lifespan is. Like, if it's a few hundred years, you know?
As an Elder Pythia or an Elder Libri. Kylan, based on the Qilin, a mythical beast from China, is an elder race found in Yan. Not much is known about them. Leishi is the only known member of this race so far. While Dracos are the dragons of the west, the Lungs are the dragons from the east. Lungs are found in Yan.
So there is a bunch of different dragon races. Gotcha.
And one of the main ruling races of Yan. The Emperor is a Lung, and the ruling family of Lungs are often known as the True Lung. Chen's uncle Wei is, in fact, the older twin brother of the Emperor of Yan.
Okay, I actually kind of like his design. It's quite unique.
Morza Kurunta, one of the 2 Kurunta elder races. This elder race of Kurunta once struck fear into the people's hearts of Terra, and led a conquest across Terra, from around the north of Terra to Sargon and then back to the north again, where they are hardly seen again. However, there are small clans around in the north, potentially, and in Sargon. Night Morza are based on folklore called the Nightmare or the Mare, which is seen in Dutch, German, Norse, and English folklores and stories. The Night Morza are known to have a racial gift to use illusion arts. Despite this, they seem to have a sense and culture over honour and glory. Pegasus Kurunta is one of the races that stood up against their sibling race of the Night Morza and protected their homeland Casimir. Pegasus Kurunta are based on the mythological creature, the Pegasus.
I couldn't have guessed that. I'm joking.
Pegasus Kurunta still hold strong respect and force within their land, but slowly their authority has dwindled over time, after holding back the Night Morza. This elder race is famous for its control over light and illumination art. Pegasus Kurunta also seem to share a same trait of light-coloured hair, such as white, blonde, and gold.
Inbreeding. I'm joking.
Other potential elder races we may have are an elder race of Rabar, the Tula family, another elder race of Kurunta, the Unicorn Kurunta, an elder race of Pero, the Cerberus Pero. The Tizak are one of the native races of Terra.
I think there's been like 25 races so far. It's so cool how they went to like different cultures and looked up their, you know, mythological animals on some of them. It's actually really cool, you know. Cause some of them I hadn't heard of. I hadn't heard of some of them before, but it's kind of cool.
Actually, they took the name the Sarkaz after losing their home in a war against the foreign races. However, there are many different Sarkaz subraces as well as sibling races, which we shall get into now. The normal Sarkaz are known as Sarkaz. Unlike their ancient Sarkaz subraces, normal Sarkaz are often seen as mixed blood Sarkaz, or not pure-blooded as they were back in ancient Terra. Banshee
I mean, does that have any effect? Like, does that reduce their power to, like, reduce their natural gifts? Anything like that?
Sarkaz are unique, as they are a majority an all-female matriarchy subrace of Sarkaz. However, there are male Banshee Sarkaz, but
I was like, if they're all female, like, what is their reproduction like? Are they like some... I was gonna say, if there weren't males, are they like... I know there are some lizards which basically just duplicate themselves. And then, you know, like, every single child they have is a clone of themselves. That'd be kind of cool if they had a race which was like that.
they are rare. We only know of one male Banshee, and that is Logos, who happens to be the heir to the Banshee Sarkaz throne. Banshee Sarkaz have a manipulation of vocal and sound arts, and a connection with death, often seen as the guardians of the dead. Cyclops Sarkaz live in the northern nation on Terra, Sami. Here they live away from their violent relatives. Cyclopses moved to Sami after the Cyclops Lord of Fiends was murdered by other Sarkaz. Cyclopses have the ability to see into the future, or have visions to see what may come. It is
I like how they're called the Cyclops, but Cyclopses generally have only one eye. It'd be kind of cool if they gave them like an eye in their forehead. Wait, I'm gonna be so dumb if they did, and I'm just gonna have
say
said
that these visions can be pretty accurate. Cyclopses are one of the two Sarkaz subraces that deal with the dangers of the Collapsals. Damacy isn't an entire subrace, but an ancient Sarkaz with the ability to
You know, after that, I'm gonna look up how many playable characters are in this game, because there seems to be so many. I know the original game is quite old, so it's kind of interesting.
shapeshift and multiply itself into
I've gotta guess it's probably around like 200 maybe. I suppose. I don't know if they're still updating that game. Considering they came out with a new game, I presume they're not. Generally they don't after they make a sequel, but I don't know.
more individuals. Diablo Sarkaz are said to be one of the most powerful Sarkaz subraces, with the ability of strong fire arts. However, this subrace is said to be extinct. With few pieces of Diablo shards left, one shard was
Yeah, I was like, there's no art for this race. Well, if they're all dead, of course they're not going to have made any art for them.
fused with Ifrit, a Suvra.
Oh, she's cute.
Now merged
I like the goblin energy she gives.
with such a shard, giving her traits and abilities of the fiery ancient subrace. We recently found out about Jarl Sarkaz, and sometimes they're known as Heart Whipper or Mind Sarkaz.
Wow, that art is beautiful. Whichever artist drew that, you are amazing, man.
Jarl Sarkaz have a unique art, which is to do with heart, mind, and emotions. Similar to their vampire relatives, they have to control their hunger, but for emotions instead of blood. Unlike vampires, however, they do have more control or found other ways to get over this.
I mean, being a vampire seems like it would be bloody miserable, dude. Like, you know, there's barely any calories in blood. And, you know, like, a lot of things have, like, things like blood frenzy, so they'll go around biting things, you know. It would suck, you know. You'd probably have malnutrition all the time.
A vast majority of Jarl don't even live in Kazdel. This is because Jarl are very sensitive to emotions, especially negative ones. The leader of the Jarl is known
So they're more prone to violence, I guess? Or they're just sad all the time.
as the Archliar. Currently, we don't know if they have an Archliar at this moment. We currently know of two Jarl, Nymph and her sister working as Rhode Island's HR director, who is clouded in mystery.
Please tell me she's a playable character. Please tell me she's a playable character.
Gargoyles, said to be one of the most ancient of all Sarkaz subraces. This subrace of Sarkaz has control over soil, stone and earth, often called the children of the soil and the stone. They have earth arts manipulation and even said to have conversations or talks with the earth and the soil. Unlike the rest of the Sarkaz subraces, the
Could you imagine being able to talk to the earth, like, what an interesting experience that would be. I mean, not that you'd probably hear anything back, or, no, the earth, they live on, isn't it, okay, I'm probably going to pronounce it wrong, but Talos, I think. Could you imagine, like, I don't know.
Goliaths.
What would it say? It's an inanimate object, right? What would it say?
Sarkaz. I'm part of the
Maybe you'd hear, like, frequencies, you know? I don't know.
Royal Kazdel Court, and unknown if they have a leader or not. But
Maybe when he says that, he means, like, talking to trees, I don't know.
majority of the Sarkaz enemies we do see are apparently Goliaths. Liches are the bookworms of the Sarkaz, and very powerful bookworms at that, with the ability to manipulate space and dimensions to a vast degree. Omengard, the cute lich that everyone loves, once said that she could transport the entirety of Lefania if she wanted to.
God, I am such a killer for a big witch hat.
Is that a bluff or not? We don't know. But, if true...
And the art style with the wavy hat, oh my god, I love I love it. My new waifu.
An amazing feat. Not only do they have space control arts, but they are also completely immortal. Unlike their other fantasy counterparts, they store their souls or life in a phylactery.
Could you imagine being immortal though? Like, how miserable that would be. Like, everyone you love around you dying, and I suppose unless they're all immortal themselves, like, it'd be so miserable.
Revenants are a spirit soul-like race of Sarkaz. This subrace isn't technically born, but more created, as the Sarkaz will put their body and soul in the soul furnaces of Kazdel. They can inhabit objects. Nazira are based on ghouls. This subrace of Sarkaz
It's also a thing, they have to have a flat fringe. Do you see that, like, the flat look? I don't know.
Sarkaz are one of the physically strongest ones on Terra. One of the reasons for their strength comes from their deep cultural aspects of cannibalism and eating their enemies.
Oh, cannibalism. Oh, lovely. What do they eat them alive too? Oh, lovely, lovely.
In return, they gain increased strength and power.
And they probably also get quite a few diseases. I suppose unless they're immune to it. I know there's a thing like mad cow disease humans can get. I can't remember what it's called, but like they would be very sick all the time.
As memories and abilities of those that they have ate. The stronger Nazira often let the weaker ones take a bite out of their body, so they basically gain power-ups. Nazira King happens to be one of the oldest characters in-game, is around 7,000 years old.
He must be miserable!
Potentially older, as he was around with the first Sarkaz. He is often known as the War Incarnate, due to the Nazira becoming far more powerful in wars, due to eating the bodies and powering themselves up. Like the vampire myths of our world, vampire Sarkaz are bloodsuckers. They feed on blood as well as strong blood arts manipulation. Similar to the Nazira, they have an ability to empower others with blood blessings. Vampire Sarkaz have a thirst for blood, which is a hunger they have to control, making them very fearful, even to other Sarkaz. The Wendigos are a subrace of Sarkaz that are tall and have an exposed skull, thus they wear a mask. Fortunately, there are no longer any pure-blood Wendigo left on Terra, with the last one being Patriot. However, there are left on Terra, with mask. Fortunately, there are no longer any pure-blood Wendigo left on Terra.
Why is that a bad thing? Well, I suppose Wendigos, in real life, I suppose what, they lure you into forests and kill you, I guess. I think that's what the myth is, I think, like, that IRL counterpart or whatever. Or the myth of their IRL counterpart.
The last one being Patriot. However, there are still Wendigo Sarkaz in the north of Ursus, led by the Wendigo King, fighting the threat of the Collapsals. Just like the Nazira, the Wendigo are one of the physically strongest and have cannibalism deep in their culture.
Oh, lovely!
We would have to see if there are more Sarkaz subraces in the future. Now, we move on to Sarkaz sibling races. First being the Anasa. This race separated from the Sarkaz and moved to Yan, distancing themselves from more wars and difficult relatives. While they kept some Sarkaz culture, overall their culture has changed. While we still don't know much about them, they do live in the wilds of Yan in tribes. Oni, a group of Sarkaz that broke away from Kazdel after the Sarkaz Lord of Fiends Kolum was killed. They moved to where Higashi is now and became the Oni, resembling some parts of the Sarkaz such as horns, but much more muscular. Sancta. Despite their angelic appearance, this race belongs
I'm a sucker for a good Oni character.
to the Sarkaz family. However, unlike the Nasa or Oni, who diverged from the Sarkaz heritage, they were Sarkaz that accepted a forced evolution or change by an outside power known as the Law, gaining light wings and a halo, which gives them sixth-like sense. This race has been in a grudging conflict with their cousins, the Sarkaz, who saw the change nothing more as a traitorous move. Fallen Sancta are also a thing, which is a Sancta that has broken the rules of the law and starts to grow horns or regain horns. Now,
I mean, could you imagine, if the laws in their biology? Because how does that fully work? How do they start? Do they have some sort of thing casted on them which makes them? It's interesting.
we move on to races that we aren't sure where they fit in, or if they fit in at all. Beast Lords. These entities are talking animals that have been around Terra for countless eras. Some of them show peculiar abilities.
Oh my god, that thing is so cute! Okay. Forget what I said about the other girl being my waifu earlier. Now this is my waifu. The sheep. I don't
Such
know.
as immortality or teleportation. Supposedly, most races in Terra have their own Beast Lord representative, but only a handful have ever been shown so far. Buromats. This is a race that you could describe as living gods or entities. They have unimaginable powers and abilities, get big as nations, they have an immunity to oripathy, even have their own space dimensional travel. However, it is hinted at these beings aren't from Terra, but also unsure when they arrived on the world. There are many Buromats around the world, and we only know of a few. Sami is a Furomat. Kajaragander, the protector of Kajarag, the Lifebone, seen in episode 13, despite being dead, still.
Oh yes, I remember yesterday in the comments, someone told me, I believe there was 3 seasons of an anime or something. So someone told me yesterday in the comments, because I was in the video about this, I was like, is there an anime? Because of some of the things he was saying, but interesting. I wonder if some of the characters he's showing do appear in the anime, maybe not the game. Just wondering.
Has a conscious, it's noted that they can be killed, but they don't truly die. Another Furomat we know is Surtur, not to be confused with Sarkaz Surtur. This Furomat was a rival to Sami. Operators like Ling, Dusk and their siblings are all fragments of the Furomat known as Sui. Furomat. Durin. Like the dwarves of mythology and other fantasy.
Oh my gosh, she's actually so cute though. Look at her.
This small subterranean race lives in the underground nation of Durin. Despite their size, these little ones are excellent
What are they, 4 foot tall?
miners, crafters, geologists, and
Basically like the dwarf race. Basically just like a dwarf race.
very heavy drinkers.
The classic dwarfs, big beards, mining.
Because Durins are a fairly peaceful race, as they live in an underground utopia compared to the other races above. However, some brave or adventurous or even bored Durin will adventure above ground.
Why would you want to though? The world would be made. Let's say if they're 2-3 feet tall. Why would you want to though? I feel like you're a big target. I don't know.
Last but not least,
I suppose for the adventure, right?
we are going to be talking about is you. Yes, you.
Oh yes, us. Yay!
The Doctor. The Doctor belongs to a race known as the First Civilization, another non-native race that arrived on Terra more than 13,000 years ago. You could say that they used Terra as an experimental ground, while also planning to protect civilization from a certain threat. Unfortunately, this civilization may be responsible for majority of the greatest threats on Terra. This
a lovely love. I guess treating it like their own breeding ground, right?
race faced a great threat from beyond, leaving you, the Doctor, the last known surviving person of its kind on Terra. It is unknown if there are more out there. Trevor Friston is one
Do they just all wear jackets? It's like their universal outfit.
leaving you, the Doctor, the last known surviving person of its kind on Terra. It is unknown if there are more out there. Trevor Friston is one of the Doctor's race. Prior to him becoming a preserver, we may know of one more, and that is Priestess. However, we don't know if this individual has good or bad intention.
Still wearing the jacket?
There are many hidden dangers and threats within and out of the supercontinent of Terra, lurking in the sea.
But it interests me, like, I know someone said, like, the grey parts aren't claimed by any nation. Is that, like, you'd think there would be, like, bigger countries claiming more things. I suppose it could be because danger zones and stuff. Danger zones, and, like, stuff. But it just makes me wonder, like, if you were one of these nations, why would you join with, why would you be so close to another nation? Why wouldn't you move yourself out a bit, Like, when you set up your civilization, you'd probably want to be pretty alone in this world, right? It seems from things he said.
Within and out of the supercontinent of Terra, lurking in the sea or even the stars.
Yeah, this is probably why, but,
If not handled carefully, it might result in the end of Terra. Here, in this section, we will discuss most prominent ones that we know of. Seaborn. They are one of the growing threats in Terra. As their name suggests, they came from the deep ocean, plaguing the nations of Aegir underwater and Iberia on land. Their evolutionary rates are extremely fast, enabling them to adapt to all sorts of things and simulate everything around them. Their colonies are connected by a hive mind. A cult known as the Church of the Deep are
Oh yeah, they mentioned this in the last video. And it makes sense because someone in the comments last time was going, the hive mind. Ah, okay. Making sense now, making sense.
supporting the spread of the Seaborn. Collapsals. They are best described as extra-dimensional entities originating from an unknown dimension. They are referred to as demons by other Terrans and possess an ability to corrupt other beings. Collapsals originated from two different places, a mystery gate in the Infinite Ice Fields and the Foehn Hotlands. Simply knowing their name is hazardous, hence why any form of knowledge about them is heavily suppressed by the Terran nations. The Observer. We currently know nothing about this godlike being. It is shrouded in mystery, and Terra is currently hidden from its sight. For now. The only thing we do know, it was a reason that the first civilization has gone from Terra, and that they had to build a fake sky to hide Terra from its sight. Another thing we do...
A fake sky? How would you build a fake sky? I guess it's like if it's a big screen.
Is that it wants Terra, and it's coming whenever the races of Terra, and you, like it.
Interesting. Why though? Why? Well, I suppose that's probably answered later in the game, right?
Or not. And that is where we come to the end of the video.
And to be fair, I haven't played the original Arknights game yet. I've only played I think it's the sequel, not prequel, the sequel. Which is obviously, apparently is set on a different planet too, but hey, I might try and stream the original game next week. But, I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. The link to this guy's video will be in the comments. I also reacted to the first part of this a couple of days ago, so if you want to check that out. And thank you for watching. Thank you. I also stream here on YouTube, so if you want to check that out. And bye.